Good afternoon, everyone. Virgo here. This is going to be an audio reading of The Care and Feeding of Moormanish. This was forwarded to me by a wonderful subscriber, and it's in limited, very limited release. After hearing this, if you would like a copy for yourself, please feel free to email me at virgotriad@protonmail.com. The Care and Feeding of Moormanish by Hubert P. Farnsworth. Silly Histories, funded by Planet Express. Abstract. A totally factual investigation into the utterly moronic notion that some people hold, whereby they are convinced of completely false stuff. But don't tell them that, or they'll go ahead and lean ya. I've got 20 leans myself. Totally official. They even got little gold stickers, and so you know that they're totally legitimate. You get leaned and woo boy, are you in trouble. Next thing you know, you'll be taking an Uber to work because those damn leans will just take your stuff, man. I mean, I had a lean come walking in my front door, plop down on my couch, and start flirting with my wife. I asked it to leave, but it told me something in Latin, and my house and everything in it suddenly disappeared. If anybody sees my wife, ask her to send me my Xbox, because I'm pretty sure I have a saved game in Red Dead, and I gotta check if I have a bounty on me. But listen, Serial, don't let those leans sneak up on you, man. They are heartless. Chapter 1, 1.1 History of the Moormanish Science Temple. The Moormanish Science Temple, or TMST, is a nonsensical religion founded by Timothy Drew, who incorrectly believed that American blacks were descendants of Moabites, which is an easily debunked and ridiculous assertion. For some inconceivable reason, TMST believes that North America is actually Morocco and is known by the purely fictitious moniker a Maxim or something equally as stupid. As proof, they use a combination of misunderstanding the text of outdated treaties and batshit crazy. 1.2 The Prophet of the Nations, Thomas Timothy Drew. Thomas Timothy Drew was born a poor black child in 1886. He was also ignorant, a charlatan, a racist, and an utter fool. Upon the advent of his 26th year as a free citizen of the United States of America, he was given a library card, and after spending innumerable hours watching YouTube videos, began to ask questions to which he could not find YouTube rebuttals. After cherry-picking and misconstruing snippets from ancient documents, Drew wove together a tenuous thread of bullshit, for which he found an audience of ignorant farmers who were dying for something that made them feel special. They were not special. They were just American citizens, the same as you and me. Some of the outright fabrications told by Drew are that he is a reincarnation of Buddha, Mohammed, and Jesus, or the reincarnation of the leader of the ancient Egyptian close-up magician club and originator of the cup and balls routine that can still be seen performed by close-up magicians and little Chinese children on YouTube today. While in residence at the local library, Drew asked for help learning Microsoft Word, which he put to good use copying and pasting nonsense from historical fiction into a manifesto of sorts in which are detailed the adventures of Cowboy Jesus, the Kid Christ, who traveled around Middle Earth on horseback in search of one ring. Oh yeah, and it has a number 7 on it. The book Drew cobbled together out of fan fiction. As a fan of the 11th Doctor, Drew decided to make wearing hats a major component of his religion, also because he incorrectly believed Moab to be situated in northeast Africa. The Fezzes are obviously a big deal in Africa. They all wear cool-ass hats down there. It all just clicked. Unfortunately for Mers, and indeed the rest of the world, Drew was not mechanically inclined, and so did not include sonic screwdrivers in Moormanish science. The upshot of all this jiggery-pokery is that Thomas Drew, through judicious application of ignorance, deftly misunderstood a bunch of shit and borrowed copiously from historical documents which he also did not understand, in order to knock together a slapdash religion so that he would never need to hold down an actual job and could subsist on donations of others even more uneducated than himself. Chapter 2, 2.1 It's Raining Tacos. If ignorance is of history, the capacity to misunderstand literally everything you read, the ability to misuse words of which you have no conceptual understanding, and the power of cherry-picking and mosquitoing were superpowers, then Moormanish scientists would be the goddamn Captain Marvel of the religious universe. You really have got to give credit where credit is due. Their ability to delude themselves is beyond amazing, bordering on otherworldly. These nutjobs are so delusional, it is frightening. Just think about this. Someone you know is driving on a road or sitting in a room with someone who believes that America is actually motherfucking Morocco. Think about the level of crazy. Modern-day Moormanism is an odious amalgam of stupidity borrowed from such fanciful narratives as Islam, Christianity, opium-infused vision quest, and Zoroastrianism. Moormanists borrow heavily from the sovereign citizen movement, though if you point the similarities out to them, the Moormanish scientists will become hilariously indignant. 2.2 10 Things You'll Hate About Moormanish Scientists. It is no secret that Moormanish scientists are mentally deficient and are in many ways nothing more than intellectually stunted children. But many well-kept secrets about Moormanish scientists can be found in their super top-secret, eyes-only originating documents. The super serial secret life of the Grand Mugumbo, Thomas Drew, contains various and sundry wise pronouncements that the prophet kinda Michel Maybelled together to form a compendium of hogwash that most, if not all, modern Moormanish scientists have not read, if they even know of its existence. But we have. 2.3 Don't feed them after midnight, and whatever you do, don't get them near water. The modern Moormanish are deathly afraid of water, as well they should be, since water contains brain-eating amoebas, and is the home of the mighty Cthulhu, Earth's mightiest hero. Cthulhu is bound in the human form of a semi-hot sea witch for eternity, or until she gets a date for the Pirates' Ball, the theme of which is either booty call on the bounty or bikini bottom bitch. They are still arguing about it. 2.4 20 Things Moormanish Didn't Know About Moormanish Scientists and Jeffrey. The Moormanish think that words, especially high-sounding combinations of words, are like magical incantations, and that these incantations, repeated often enough, will cause something to happen. They also believe that their falsified documentation is a magical protection from prosecution. Of course, they won't, and they aren't. But you can't argue with them because they live in a fantasy world where Harry Potter repeats a Latin-sounding phrase and the Patronus files a lien on your property and moves into your house. 2.5 The Shrief of Nutjobbingham. As a completely and obviously factual nation, the Moormanish need a totally legitimate police force to enforce their totally not at all made-up rights. A sort of policy enforcement wing of the Moormanish nation that will totally only be used to ensure the Moormanish scientists get what is totally theirs by virtue of the fact that they were totally here first and stuff. But where, oh where, would this totally legitimate, and I'm not even kidding about that, group of policy enforcers come from? And who, oh who, will be the boss of them? Thanks to the Sharif of Nut Jobbingham, all of this totally legitimate and not even made up and actually important stuff is under control. But who, oh who, is the Sharif of Nut Jobbingham? Well, Sharon Crazy Gale. That's who. That is the end of the reading of the audiobook today. And for all of you that would like a copy so you can look at the absolutely hilarious footnotes, please be sure to email me at virgotriad@protonmail.com and I will send you a PDF copy of this. I want to let you know that I only had to restart and edit out a total of 17 times, and I only had to look up 6 words to see what they meant, because I'm not all that well versed in some of the stuff that was actually used in this, although after looking at them, at the words and the meanings behind some of the memes that are used for them, or used as them, this is absolutely priceless and hilarious. And I want to thank Hubert P. Farnsworth for sharing it with me and sharing it with my wonderful subscribers. Thank you so much. This has been a reading of The Care and Feeding of Moormish.